early in San Francisco. A tough loss last night, followed by a quick turnaround this morning. Getaway day for the D-backs along with Covey Cove. And a chance to take 2 of 3 here before it's off to Los Angeles. Join us for the D-backs and the Giants on Fox Sports Arizona. Good afternoon from AT&T Park. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly along the way. A getaway day matinee here, D-backs and Giants. Robbie Ray gets the baseball this afternoon, a chance to make it 3 wins and 3 starts.
Yeah, Robbie has had some success, although he hasn't thrown the ball as well as we'd like to see, I'm sure, as well as he'd like to throw the ball. But Robbie's been a road warrior throughout the last couple of years. He's 9-1 with a 1.84 ERA and 16 starts on the road since the beginning of last season.
He opened up with a win on this road trip's first game in St. Louis. He'll get the ball against rookie Andrew Suarez. Now, the reason we're here in the dugout is because you've got some pregame duty throwing out first pitch today.
Yeah, I haven't thrown a pitch in anger in about 5 years, so this should be very interesting. I'm hoping Buster Posey catches it. I'm going to try to short hop one right off his kneecap.
Any chance you'll just fire it up into the stands?
If I thought I could reach the booth, I would throw it up to you. But the last time I threw a ball in the stands, I got suspended. So I think I'll just try to hit the catcher.
Well, we'll see how this goes. Fingers crossed. D-backs and Giants, a chance to take 2 of 3 here. First pitch and the opening pitch coming up on Fox Sports Arizona. D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By APS. APS works 24/7 to keep you plugged in, powered up, and connected. By Gila River Hotels and Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up for the card today. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. Choose Chaz. By Tire Pros of Arizona, everything rotates around you. And by Jack in the Box. This season, D-backs home runs score free Jumbo Jacks only at Jack in the Box. Well, we are moments away from first pitch. Robbie Ray on the mound for the Diamondbacks against lefty Andrew Suarez in his major league debut. D-backs in San Francisco. Back after this.
Getting you set for first pitch right here on Fox Sports Arizona. Some day baseball. Jody Jackson with you, and the D-backs have been good at getting early runs on the board. A big part of that, A.J. Pollock. On this trip, he's 6 for 9 with a home run, 3 doubles, couple of stolen bases. In fact, he's got 7 doubles on the season. That's tied for most in the major leagues with Xander Bogaerts of the Boston Red Sox. So I was having a conversation with AJ about the new term launch angle. Now, it's always been around. It's basically trying to hit the ball in the air. It is measured by StatCast, and a lot of home run hitters have talked a lot about changing their swing, including J.D. Martinez last year here with the Arizona Diamondbacks. In fact, it revived his career. But for AJ, lifting the ball in the air, well, it only makes sense.
It's got to match your swing. You know, some guys that don't have the right swing for it are trying to hit the balls in the air. The idea is to maximize your opportunities to get hits. And I do think that getting the ball in the air, hitting the ball hard in the air makes sense. So yeah, of course, yeah, I'm trying to drive balls in the air. I think you see the whole league kind of understanding the importance of kind of doing damage at the plate, not just, you know, a single is great, and you're gonna try to get on base as much as you can, but you know, if you can get that extra base hit, that's kind of the easiest way to score runs. You know, and when you're playing defense, you obviously, it's easy to see that. You know, if you can kind of limit them to singles, you got a good chance of getting out of the inning with 0, maybe 1 run. And if they're getting extra base hits, you know, it could be a long inning.
All right, we'll see if A.J. Pollock and this offense can get it started well for the D-backs here today. David Peralta, another day off for him, but we will see Dyson Marte, and of course we saw Pollock with a double last night, Goldie with a home run. Can the Diamondbacks take another series? It would be their 4th straight. We'll find out in moments.
Suarez, Giants second-round pick in the 2015 draft out of the University of Miami, making his major league debut.
Reportedly has a really good straight changeup. You see his numbers last season with AAA Sacramento, a 10-10 with a 3.30 ERA. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. As I mentioned, his changeup is reportedly his best secondary pitch.
Let's take a look around the diamond at the Giants defense. That's presented by E.D. Marshall Jewelers.
Hunter Pence will be in left field. Austin Jackson out in center with Andrew McCutchen, last night's Giants hero, out in right field. Evan Longoria third. Brandon Crawford at short. Joe Panik back in the lineup at second base today. Buster Posey gets out of the crouch to play first base this afternoon with Nick Hundley behind the plate for the lefty, Andrew Suarez.
Scott Barry will call the balls and strikes this afternoon. He's our plate umpire. Carlos Torres at first base. The crew chief, Kerwin Danley, is the second base umpire, and Paul Nard is down there at third. Just about set to go, but first, Bob, it's time for your Valley Honda dealers key to the game.
Well, the Diamondbacks have done really well against left-handed pitchers, so for today, left is right. Diamondbacks have won each of their last 7 games against left-handed starting pitcher. You go back to the middle of August last year, they're 18-3 against left-handed starters.
D-backs 8-3, a chance to begin a season 9-3 for the first time in a decade. And Gerard Dyson will lead us off on a Wednesday afternoon here by the Bay. First pitch in the big leagues from lefty Andrew Suarez is ball 1.
This guy has no command.
Bullpen's already busy for the Giants. Dyson 5 for 25 on the year. Gerard single, doubled, scored a run in his start in left field last night. Lifts one in the air, left center field, long run for Austin Jackson. Boy, he had to go a long way to get to that one. That'll bring up Ketel Marte.
This is the 20th time in Diamondbacks history they've faced a starting pitcher making his major league debut. Of course, last night was number 19. Today, number 20 against Andrew Suarez. Some other notables: Matt Harvey made his debut against the Diamondbacks. Johnny Cueto, Edwin Jackson, Wade Miller, all made their debuts against the Diamondbacks.
Matt Harvey, good pitcher.
Good pitcher.
Marte 222. He walked, had an RBI double, and scored a run last night. Singled, walked, and scored in Monday's opener. His bat has come alive as of late. I have not checked in with our producer Brad the Big Dog Weimer, our director Brian Moss, as to exactly when we will show you the ceremonial first pitch from the game today, but I can report an eyewitness account that it was a perfect strike. So that's coming up. Stay tuned.
Can't wait to see it as soon as I get this ice bag off my shoulder.
Sitting there with his elbow in a tub of ice right now. Bob Brenly threw out the first pitch before the game today.
I was on the Brad Boxberger program. I went down into the batting cage and threw 2 balls against the netting and declared myself ready to go.
He warms up quick. Giants celebrating 60 years since they moved from the Polo Grounds here to San Francisco. So part of that celebration, they're having former Giant greats throw out ceremonial first pitches all year long. And my partner had the honor here today.
Former Giant greats and some not so greats.
Come on now. D-back great on deck. Goldie. What a moment that was last night. Checked in with Torey Lovello before the game today, and the first thing I asked him when I saw him was, how was it? Suspended for last night. He watched from a suite here with Amiel Sade, the assistant GM, and he said, you know what, it was really boring. Because he just felt like he had no control.
Yeah.
A lot of faith in Jerry Narin, and Jerry did a great job, but it was just interesting for Tor to be sort of detached from the process and watching the game as it went on.
I'm sure he was thinking, what would I do if I were down in the dugout right now? But the reality is he was just a spectator like the rest of us last night.
Pitch number 8 is fouled off. Yeah, he said, okay, I managed the game in my head, and as soon as I thought, okay, I'd get this guy up, or Jerry Narin would do it. It happened almost instantaneously, so they were very much in lockstep last night.
Did Torrey mention whether he had indigestion today from the garlic fries?
No, he said they were good. Yeah, he was all over those. Crushed them.
Good battling at bat here for Ketel Marte. 6 foul balls during the course of this at bat.
He's developed a knack for this. Pitch number 10 in the at bat right here from Andrew Suarez. They'll keep going. Short hop for Longoria at third. 2 up, 2 down for Suarez. Speaking of Torey Lovullo, you'll notice that Yadier Molina hit the appeal of his suspension.
Yeah, Cardinals had, I believe, a day game after a night game today and a day off tomorrow, so he decided to go ahead and serve his suspension today.
Discretion being the better part of valor. 158, 1 home run for Goldie, who had the 2-out 9th inning homer last night that tied it up. Just launched one out of here to deep left center field. Through the Seagulls and about, what, 440 feet.
I think he hit it over the Seagulls. This was an absolute bomb. 440 feet, 108 miles an hour off of Goldie's bat, and it made that very familiar sound.
Didn't it, though? Goldie had a big night. He also singled, walked, scored twice after his RBI triple in Monday's game here. So that bat really coming around as of late. Giants have 3 defenders on the west side of the infield. Just missed one there. It's 1-2. Yeah, Goldie with 3 hits in this series. He's hit safely in 4 of his 5 games on this road trip. A .941 career OPS here at AT&T Park. Ball, strike 3. Suarez works a 1-2-3 first. Robbie Ray coming up. Starter for the D-backs is Robbie Ray, 26-year-old left-hander. An ERA of 5.73, but 2 wins in 2 starts, including the opener on this road trip last Thursday in St. Louis.
Yeah, Robbie Ray is a perfect example of it's not necessarily how you pitch, it's when you pitch, and he's been the beneficiary. Some offensive support, some great defense behind him. Coming off his last start of victory against the Cardinals, went 6 innings, gave up only 2 hits in a run, but he did walk 5 Cardinal batters.
Valley Chevy Dealers has the Giants lineup.
Jackson in center, Panic at second base. McCutchen will be out in right field. Buster Posey playing first base today. Evan Longoria down at third. Nick Hundley I've heard that he's a former U of A product.
Well, we're still trying to nail that down. Bo is late as usual. He's looking that up.
Nick Huntley will be doing the catching. Hunter Pence in left, Brandon Crawford at short, and Andrew Suarez, the rookie, on the mound.
Put the cookie down and look something up, will you? Austin Jackson leads it off for the G-Man. Jackson 241 to start the year. He's hit safely in 4 straight. Jackson singled twice, walked, stole a base, scored a run last night, all from the leadoff spot. Two and two. How about Robbie Ray?
Great
15 road starts last year, 1 this year, 9-1 with a 1.84 ERA. That stays fair for Marrero at third. Nice play by Devin down there. Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defense. It's a look around the diamond, brought to you by E.D. Marshall Jewelers.
Peralta, Pollock, and Owings left to right across the outfield. Nice play to start the game for Devin Marrero, playing third base today. Nick Ahmed at shortstop, Ketel Marte at second, Paul Goldschmidt over at first base with John Ryan Murphy behind the plate for left-hander Robbie Big Game Bob Ray.
Joe Panik, the left-hand batter in there at second base. Fastball down and away. It's 0-1. Panik had the night off last night. 0 for 4 in Monday's opener.
And the wind that has been kind of consistently blowing out to right center field throughout this series, blowing from the right field corner toward the left field corner today, might help right-handed pull hitters.
This is hit pretty deep left center field. Dyson and Pollock, and it's AJ on the warning track. He got it up into that wind, and it almost carried it out of here.
Ball went a long way out there near the 382 mark in left center field. Pretty tough to get a fly ball down between those two guys, AJ Pollock and Gerard Dyson.
Well, last night it was a base hit, good enough for Andrew McCutchen. 238 with a homer. McCutchen won it last night against Jorge De La Rosa. Bottom 9. He had a walk-off homer that beat the Dodgers here Saturday, and a walk-off single to beat the D-backs last night. He has singled twice, walked twice in the series. A couple of RBIs last night for McCutchen, or McClutchen as they're calling him here. See what they did there with the clutch?
Yeah. We liked his walk-off against the Dodgers a lot better than the one last night.
So did he. He had 6 hits in that game, including a walk-off homer. Off Wilmer Font in the 14th inning of that game. Big swing and a miss. Murphy collects that one. And Robbie Ray gets the strikeout. A 1-2-3 first. No score in San Francisco.
The order a little more on David Peralta and the injury. Now, Torey Lovello did say that he was playable, but it is an injury that happened in spring training, got jammed. It's that left hand. It's a little bit sore in there. And they're just hoping to have a precautionary day off today, added with yesterday off, and then an off day tomorrow in Los Angeles to hopefully have David be full strength for the series against the LA Dodgers. Obviously, with the way he was hitting the ball in the beginning of the season, you know that what happened in spring wasn't bothering him too much. It just got re-aggravated. And then John Ryan Murphy getting the start behind the plate here with Robbie Ray. They worked together in Robbie's first start of the season. Torey liked the way they worked together, wanted to get John Ryan a start. He said he's very connected with the pitchers. You know, he had spring training now the full time with those guys together, and he's looking forward to a solid start today, and those two working in tandem.
Rotating those three catchers through Jody. A.J. Pollock leads off the second against lefty Andrew Suarez in his first major league appearance. A.J. 310 with a homer. He leads the D-backs in RBIs. And that big two-run double in the first inning last night. Giants with three defenders on the left side of the infield. AJ's having a big road trip from the cleanup spot. 3 doubles and a home run. Strikeout in a row for Suarez. He's got Goldie to end the first and Pollock to start the second.
Pretty good breaking ball that time by Suarez. Still kind of learning the Giants left-hander. A lot of late break down and underneath the bat of A.J. Pollock for the first out here in the second.
Yeah, they had almost nothing on this youngster coming into the start today. Not a whole lot of experience, not much video out there. Chris Owings, what a start to the year he's had. 353, a homer and 6 RBIs. But CO last night 0 for 4. He punched out 3 times. That snapped a 9-game hitting streak.
Suarez actually pitched against the Reno Aces one time last year, so maybe you got a little report from the guys who were down in Reno at that time.
Jumps ahead 0-2.
He beat the Aces last, what is that, August 17th. Went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 1 earned run.
Up the middle, Panic has it near second. 5 up, 5 down for Suarez. Nick Ahmed, the shortstop today. Nick 321, 8 runs batted in. Hitless in the series. He's 0 for 6 with a walk.
As you mentioned at the top of the show, Bert, back-to-back days for the Diamondbacks facing rookie pitchers. I have to believe it was probably a little bit easier for Suarez than it was for last night's starter Tyler Beede.
Why is that?
He had to sit around all day waiting for that 7:15 start last night. Andrew Suarez just woke up, had a little breakfast, come to the ballpark, put the uniform on, and pitch your first major league game.
Don't think you can only hurt the ball.
You can only hurt the club.
Well, Suarez split last year between AA Richmond, AAA Sacramento. And between the 2 stops, he was 10-10, a 3.30 ERA. He's really locating his pitches very well ahead of Nick 1-2 here. Suarez called up to take this start after the Giants put Johnny Cueto on the DL with a left ankle sprain. Although Cueto did throw a bullpen session off the mound before last night. His injury is not considered serious. In fact, Cueto could be back as soon as next Tuesday's series opener against the D-backs at Chase Field. We could see Cueto and Samardzija in that series. Samardzija's been out all year with a pectoral strain. He will make a rehab start at San Jose on Saturday. There's the Shark. Well, Suarez 6 up, 6 down, 3 strikeouts. No score in San Francisco. The home half of the second inning. No score. D-backs and Giants. Built for baseball. Presented by T-Mobile. The best network for streaming baseball, because your stadium should be where you make it. A 1-2-3 first for Robbie Ray. Now Buster Posey leads off the Giants second. Posey sends one toward Triple's alley. And A.J. Pollock is there. A.J. covering all kinds of ground out there in center field. That one was just shy of the warning track and right.
Yeah, that's Triple's alley all the way. A.J. Pollock, I mentioned before, along with Gerard Dyson, covering all that ground in left center field. Same thing can be said in right center. A.J. Pollock and Chris Owings. Tough to get a ball to drop out there. Great jump that time by A.J.
Evan Longoria. Tough Giant start for Longoria. 4 for 35 on the year.
I'm just going to say Robbie Ray seems to be in a much better rhythm today. He talked about that his last couple of starts. He just hasn't felt as comfortable out there on the mound as he did last season, and it showed.
Tempo is always so important for Robbie. Sometimes he slows down a bit too much in between pitches. Trying to work at a nice steady rhythm, a nice up tempo here. Got to think, Bob, that part of that for Robbie was the mechanics, everything not quite synced up so far this year the way it was last year.
Well, and as we know, about mid-season last year, he made some changes to his delivery. Used to take a big, long step back before going into his windup. Now it's a very abbreviated little jab step with that right foot, going right into his delivery. Much smoother, much quicker in the second half of the season last year.
Ooh, fastball missed in for Scott Berry. It's 2-2. Nick Hundley, the catcher, on deck. Buster Posey playing first base today. No Brandon Belt for the Giants. The day off against the lefty. Well, Robbie 98 pitches in 6 innings against the Cardinals last Thursday. Gave up only 1 run on 2 hits, but he walked 5 in that start. And that had to be a little disappointing for Robbie. He said this spring that cutting back on walks is probably the biggest thing at which he wants to improve this year. Limiting pitches in innings, he can get deeper into ball games that way. Fastball is in. Full count on Longoria. 3-2. John Ryan Murphy back there today. Nick Ahmed has that one from the outfield grass. 5 up, 5 down for Robbie Ray. Here's the U of A Wildcat, Nick Hundley, 1 for 10 to start the year. He was intentionally walked as a pinch hitter last night.
I haven't looked up the numbers. I don't have anything to base this on other than anecdotal knowledge, but seems like Nick Hundley always does damage against the Diamondbacks. Usually gets his 1 start a series.
Yeah, he's got that pain in the neck aura about him.
Yeah. Usually gets a high fastball at some point, tomahawks it into the outfield.
Robbie Ray 6 of 6 first pitch strikes so far. Well, Hundley last year had 70 base hits. 32 were for extra bases, so almost half the time he had a hit last year it was at least a double. 1-2. Hundley has only started twice behind the plate this year. 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts in his start here Sunday against the Dodgers. This is popped up foul ground. Murphy and Marrero. And Devin Marrero is there. Robbie Ray has sat down all 6 he's faced. No score at AT&T Park. Ceremony. It's our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing cool play of the game. There he is. Former Giant great Bob Brenly throwing out the first pitch.
Yeah, they requested that I put that Giants Forever jacket on. Everybody else that's thrown out the first pitch has done that, so I didn't want to upset the Giants.
I was curious as to why Hunter Strickland, the closer, was your catcher.
That's a good question. I'm not sure why it was Hunter Strickland. I was hoping it was Buster Posey, and I would have one-hopped him off the kneecap, but they wouldn't let that happen.
Well, both Posey and Nick Hundley in the starting lineup for the Giants today. Buster playing first, so I guess all the catchers were busy. Devin Marrero, the third baseman today, leads off the D-back third against Andrew Suarez, who so far in his major league debut has thrown 30 pitches, 23 for strikes. He's got 3 strikeouts. Marrero 2 for 12, couple of RBIs this year. That one's off the plate. It's 1-1.
Had a chance to catch up with Devin a little bit while I was waiting to throw the first pitch today. Of course, Devin came over from the Boston Red Sox, knows my son Michael very well, and he made some very good comparisons. between this Diamondbacks team and the Red Sox team that he came from.
It's up in that win for McCutchen, such as.
Well, he just said, you know, so far we haven't hit a lot of home runs, and the Red Sox don't hit a lot of home runs. He said, but we have a lot of very athletic guys. We have good base runners, good contact hitters, guys that'll take their walk, guys that can catch the ball. He says, I see a lot of similarities. And then he said, oh, yeah, and the rotation.
Well, that helps the pitching. John Ryan Murphy, 2 for 11 with a home run this year. That one is a foul ball at third for Longoria. Not a whole lot of offense for the Diamondbacks so far this year. Talking with Torrey about that in his office before the game today. He says right now the offense is of minimal concern. They're without key guys, obviously. Jake Lamb, Steven Souza Jr. No David Peralta today. It's been the pitching and the defense for the most part. And that'll usually win you some games.
Yeah, especially that run prevention, playing solid defense.
Suarez has really had good command. He's moved the ball all around, mixed up his breaking balls and his fastballs. In, out, up, down. Nick Hundley behind the plate today. Suarez did not have an especially intriguing spring. He threw 14 innings in the Cactus League, gave up 11 earned runs. And he is following Tyler Beede last night. First time the Giants have had pitchers start consecutive games making their major league debuts since 1976. That year it was Bob Knepper and Frank Rosselli.
Bob Knepper was the very definition of a soft tossing lefty.
He was pretty good for a while.
Yeah, he was really good. I mean, depending on the way the wind was blowing a candlestick, he had trouble getting his fastball through the wind some nights. But boy, could he pitch.
He was a very good pitcher for the Astros in the Astrodome.
Yeah.
Some of their great teams in the 80s. I don't know whatever became of Frank Rosselli. Does that ring a bell at all?
Yeah, the name's vaguely familiar, but couldn't tell you.
Robbie Ray, the pitcher, on deck. Still 2-2 on John Ryan Murphy. Frank Rosselli was a first-round pick out of high school in Syracuse, New York. A lifetime major league record of 3-3. And like Bob Knepper, also went on to pitch for the Giants and the Astros.
Suarez, first time through the order, a couple of 0-2 counts, 4 1-2 counts. 6 of the 8 hitters he faced either 0-2 or 1-2. Pretty impressive for a youngster making his first start.
Good at bat here from John Ryan. Pitch number 8 on the way. Suarez so far 40 pitches, 30 for strikes. And it's full 3-2. Got him. 4 strikeouts for Suarez.
It's a challenge fastball, belt high out over the plate. That time John Ryan comes up empty, swings right through that pitch.
Robbie Ray. Squib shot to third. Longoria cleans that up. And in his major league debut, Andrew Suarez is perfect through 3. No score at AT&T Park.
Bob Ray.
Does he like that?
In baseball, it doesn't really matter if you like the nickname or not.
I like calling him Big Game Bob, allusion to Robert Ory in the basketball days.
I don't know. I think it's just funny. Guys just enjoy saying it.
Bob's also my neighbor on the plane. Me and Bob have had some good times for sure. He's a good dude.
Well, he's Robbie Ray to all of us, but to his teammates, he's Bob.
What about Bob?
So far, so good. 6 up, 6 down. Hunter Pence leads off the Giant third.
And Jake Lamb was 100% correct. It doesn't matter whether you like your nickname in baseball. If you don't like it, they're definitely going to call you that for the rest of your career.
You got to pretend you do, and maybe they'll forget after a while. That's your best shot.
T-Bone. George Costanza, one of those Seinfelds, wanted to be nicknamed T-Bone.
You end up as Coco the monkey. First pitch to Hunter Pence misses. Pence 206, a slow start this year. Hitless in the series. Got his first RBI of the season last night on a sac fly. Wow, that caught the corner, but we don't get the call. It's 2-0.
Yeah, first curveball looked like it caught the corner inside as well. Robbie Ray's been very efficient. Starting this inning, 23 pitches through the first 2. Suarez threw 20 pitches to Marte and Murphy alone.
A big brouhaha apparently going on in the Colorado-San Diego game. Bunch of ejections. Perdomo, Arenado, A.J. Ellis have all been tossed from that game. The Rockies at Coors Field lead San Diego 1-0. 2-1 on Hunter Pence. Suspensions to follow.
Yeah. It was a little testy in the early going this year. Usually it's not till the dog days. So, August. Guys start grinding, realizing they're not having the kind of year individually they want to have. The team maybe not doing what they want to do. And that's usually when tempers start to flare.
Competitive division, the National League West, the best in baseball. And everybody may be feeling the heat here the first week or two. So those numbers on Pence, he's had a lot of luck against Robbie. And he's worked it full 3-2 to start the third. Brandon Crawford on deck. Ooh. Looking at some video from that incident at Coors Field. That is a genuine brawl. Punches thrown. Really? They got a little ugly. Leadoff walk for Pence. That'll bring up Crawford. Brandon Crawford, 242 with a homer. He singled and struck out 3 times last night. He's got 3 hits in the series. Yeah, Torey Lovullo, Yadier Molina, that was a patty cake compared to the Padres and the Rockies today. Giants will be hitting the road after this one. They go to San Diego for 4 to start a long 3-city road trip. 3 against the D-backs at Chase Field, and they finish up against the Angels in L.A. Good location, down and away. Swing and a miss by Crawford. It's 1-1. Robbie so far walked 1, struck out 1.
It's been a while since Brandon Crawford has hit 8th in this Giants lineup. He's usually a guy that's up there in the middle somewhere. But against a left-handed pitcher, Bruce Bochy slides him down to that 8 spot today. The only other lefty in the lineup today, Joe Panik, hitting in the 2 spot.
Crawford hit just under 240 against left-hand pitching last year. We'll keep an eye on Pence over there at first.
good feel for that curveball today. On a given day, it might be the curveball, it might be the slider, it might be the fastball. Some days all three are working well, but he's thrown a first pitch curve to 5 of the 8 hitters he's faced. 3 were taken for a strike, and twice he was out of the zone. But throwing that many curveballs early tells me he's got a real good feel for it today.
Yeah, that curveball was such a difference maker for him last year. He got away from that in his first start this season. But we saw a whole lot more curveballs in St. Louis last week. Suarez getting ready for his first big league at bat. 3-1 on Crawford after the walk to Pence. Below the zone, Scott Barry gives it to Robbie Ray, and it's full 3-2. Crawford's got a beef there. So Robbie's gone full on the first 2 Giants batters in this third, with a pitcher on deck. Got him. Fastball up and away. Second strikeout for Robbie. 1 down.
Just rushed him that time. Slowed his bat down with those breaking pitches, and then that fastball seems a lot quicker than it is.
Well, he's got the stuff to just bully guys up there if he wants to. Andrew Suarez, his first at bat in the big leagues, the Giants pitcher. Squares to bunt. Here comes Marrero from third. Pulls back and takes a strike. He's going to have to go check in with the third base coach now just to make sure they're all on the same page. There's Ron Wotus.
Longtime bench coach Ron Wotus. Giants kind of shook up their coaching staff a little bit this year. Hensley Mullins, who had been the hitting instructor, is now the bench coach.
Kurt Young is the new pitching coach. There's Hensley Mullins on the right.
Ron Wotus, longtime bench coach, now out at third base.
Marrero creeping in again from third. He did not go, says Paul Nard at third base, so it's a ball and a strike. Yeah, Phil Nevin, former Reno Aces manager, was the Giants' third base coach last year. He's in New York now with Aaron Boone. Seems odd not to have Dave Righetti as the pitching coach here. Marrero halfway in, bunts it right to him, and they are able to cut down Pence at second, the lead man. Nice play there, Devin Marrero.
Nice play by Devin Marrero, and nice play by Nick Ahmed out there at shortstop. You see how close Marrero was. Rookie mistake, bunt the ball to the guy that's right in your face. That ball should have been bunted to the first base side, but Diamondbacks take advantage, get that force play at second base, and now the pitcher will have to run the bases.
Big break for Robbie, who has struggled with his control in this inning. A walk to Pence. He was behind on Crawford. Gets the strikeout. They retire Pence at second. So now Suarez, the pitcher's at first. 2 down for Jackson, who grounded out his first time up. Inside, it's 1-0. Robbie only 23 pitches through the first 2 innings. 16 pitches here in the third. That fastball got away from him. That's been a consistent problem for Robbie this year, losing that fastball arm side up and away. Mike Butcher was telling us last week that's from Robbie hunching over sort of forward with his shoulders as he gets to the top of his delivery, kind of blocks himself from coming all the way through the ball. Good location there. It's 2-2.
Yeah, if you really think about all the things that have to be aligned properly in order to execute a good pitch at the major league level, you drive yourself crazy. That's why it's repetition, side sessions, bullpen sessions, working on those mechanics. Get to the place where you don't even think about your mechanics, you just think about executing pitches.
2-2. Yeah, they'd like Robbie to stop hunching over at the top of his delivery, get a little more upright. Help him come all the way through toward home plate. He kind of blocks himself off when he slouches.
Yeah, we saw that in his last start. Catcher reminding him, stay upright, stay upright, stay upright. Nice job by John Ryan Murphy once again. Diamondbacks catchers have been tested a lot in the early going this year, and for the most part they've been up to the task every night.
Well, Robbie has faced 4 batters in this inning, and he's gone to a full count on 3 of them. Joe Panik on deck. Suarez off with a pitch, and Jackson fouls that one away. Eighth pitch of the at-bat right here. A long inning for Robbie. Suarez on the move, and once again Austin Jackson fouls it back. Already a 24-pitch third for Robbie Ray. Fly ball popped up behind shortstop. Drifting out there is Ahmed, and Nick can't get it. They're going to stop Suarez at third. It carried over his head in front of Dyson out there in shallow left center, and that goes down as a base hit for Austin Jackson.
We talked about the wind pushing the ball toward left center field this afternoon, skied high in the air. You can see Nick was having trouble with that right away. When you see him start karaoke steps like that, crossing over as he's backing up, he needs help from his outfield. That time I think Dyson gave up on the ball a little bit too quickly.
Ron Wodas put the brakes on Suarez at third. So still a chance to get out of this inning unscathed as Panik steps in. He flying out to center his first time up.
That's one of those plays that begs for the classification team error. Not fair to hang it on Nick Ahmed, not fair to hang it on Gerard Dyson or A.J. Pollock. Just one of those tough balls in between 3 different guys. But at the same time, Robbie Ray shouldn't be penalized. He got a pop up to the left side. That should have been the third out of the inning.
Exactly what he was hoping for. And now some work left to do. Panik fouls that one away. It's 0-1. Joe Panik hits left-hand pitching. A .290 batting average for him versus lefties last year. He's got Suarez at third, Jackson at first, and 2 outs. Oh, 0-2. Numbers on Panik for his career. He's a .286 hitter against left-handers. He's just a good hitter.
Yeah, he's just a really good hitter. I think he looks to pull against right-handed pitching a little bit more of a contact spray hitter against lefties.
And check his swing. Robbie Ray needed a strikeout, and he got one. He strands 2 and keeps it scoreless. No score. Let's take a look back at baseball history. It's brought to you by Geico.
On this day in 1961, some guy named Carl Yastrzemski, had a knock in his team's 5-2 opening day loss to Kansas City. He went on to collect over 3,400 hits, 23-year Hall of Fame career. Hey, you're familiar with that guy.
Carl Yastrzemski. Carl, you ever hear that Jess Kane song?
No.
Carl Yastrzemski, the man we call Yaz, because he is Carl Yastrzemski. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Gerard Dyson leads off the fourth.
I'm waiting for the greatest hits CD to come out, then I'll get it.
You know who was the greatest ever at reading those promos? Yes. Dyson flying out to center to lead off the ball game. In there for David Peralta. David, a late scratch today. Still got a sore hand from that injury he suffered at the end of spring training. So they're hoping the night off last night, day off today, off day tomorrow, help Peralta's hand feel better. 0-2 on Dyson.
I've been trying to hold off on my robot umpire's rant, but this road trip so far, whoo!
The problem with our K-zone graphic, which is tremendous, gives you a great idea of not an idea exact location of where the pitch was and everything. It illustrates some of the egregious mistakes that we see. Starting to see them more and more. But you have, I think, shown tremendous restraint. There's another one off the plate. But Scott Barry gives it to Suarez, and that's already 5 strikeouts for the rookie in his major league debut.
I mean, it's one thing if there are a couple, maybe a half a dozen missed calls over the course of the ball game. We're seeing that many in an inning.
Well, it was a borderline pitch that you could call a strike,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's not.
I can live with that.
Egregious. But boy, we saw Paul Nart and Kerwin Danley in the first 2 games of this series with some big misses. Ketel Marte. Now the way you can tell if you're watching at home with us, as Marte rolls one through center field, the K zone will show where the ball ends up as it crosses into the strike zone. If it's a solid dot, the computer registers that as a strike. If it's a clear circle, it says ball. So that's how you know what the computer says. So if you did in fact have robot umpires, the full circle would be called a strike and the open circle would be called a ball. Goldie struck out looking to win the first.
It would never be wrong. We'd never miss a ball strike pitch again.
But then we'd be without the human element. See, that's a clear circle right there, and it's off the strike zone for ball 1. That was the first hit Suarez has given up, first base runner. He set down the first 10 he faced in the big leagues. Now see, there's the full dot circle. That indicates that it caught part of the strike zone. And it was correctly called by Scott Barry, so it's 1-1. Big breaking ball from Suarez. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Torey Lovullo telling us today Goldie's at bats have looked a lot better lately. He's surveying the strike zone is the way that Torey likes to put it. Linking at bats together. When you do that, you win moments, and then you play downhill.
There you go.
That's the whole Torey repertoire right there.
I'll tell you one thing, Hunter Pence is playing so deep out there in left field. On a clean single into left, Marte might be able to go first to third right in his face. That's how deep he is.
And Goldie drives one deep center field, and you can kiss that goodbye. Whoa. Paul Goldschmidt is back. His second of the season, his second in 2 games. And the D-backs have a 2-0 lead. Another one that Goldie launches out of here at AT&T Park. Halfway up the bleachers in center. Well, as somebody put it to us this morning, a Giant person, this is Goldie's get well place.
It seems to be 86-mile-an-hour breaking ball right out there on the outside corner. And as you said, hits it halfway up the bleachers, just to the left to straightaway center. Man, is he barreling him up now.
That's his 4th hit in the series, his 2nd homer, a jumbo jack, a free jumbo jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with a purchase of a large drink. A.J. Pollock.
876 feet of home runs in his last 2 games. Last night 440, that one at 436.
110 miles an hour off the bat.
Ooh.
How's your exit velocity looking? AJ fouls that one off, and it's 1-1. So Goldie really coming around. He's hit safely now in 5 of 6 games on this road trip. Day off tomorrow, then 3 over the weekend in LA against the Dodgers. It's funny watching Austin Jackson in center field on that. And when he took a couple of steps back there and then just said, nah, I'm not getting that.
He's heard that Goldie sound too.
All over the Cove. 3-0 on Pollock with Owings on deck. Fastball in. Well, we got a strike on the board now. 3-1. All right, they correct the count down there. 3 balls and 1 strike on Pollock.
Andrew Suarez will not forget Paul Goldschmidt anytime soon. His first major league strikeout came against Goldie, and the first home run surrendered came to Goldie.
I like what you did there. That's life in the NL West. You better get used to it.
Yeah.
Suarez, 60 pitches, 45 strikes. He's given up just 2 hits, both in this inning. The Marte single and the Goldie homer. Now full on AJ, 3-2. Nationwide Vision Centers, eye on the game. 3 defenders on the left side of the infield. Cloudy and overcast here today. Wind blowing out now to right center field out toward the water. On the ground to Crawford. AJ hits it into that shift. 2 outs in the 4th. Co grounded out his first time up. Had a 9-game hit streak snapped here last night. He was 0 for 4.
Co struck out 3 times last night. Once looking.
Something came flying off Chris. I think that thumb protector.
Yeah, I think you're right. That thumb guard.
And that just kind of went flying out toward the third base coach's box, almost like a foul tip.
Occasionally guys that get the handle of the bat deep into their hand, they'll get bone bruises at the base of their thumb, and that little guard that you saw fly off CO that time is intended to prevent those bone bruises on your thumb.
0-2. Here's a good look from our crew.
It's just a piece of foam with a circle in it to stick your thumb through and put that pad wherever you need it on the base of your thumb.
Of course, don't forget last year Chris suffered that fractured middle finger on his right hand, hit by the Cardinals' Lance Lynn trying to lay down a bunt in St. Louis. Had 2 surgeries on that finger. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nick Ahmed hoping to get a chance. Suarez with 6 strikeouts, but the D-backs grab a 2-0 lead. Goldie had that 2-out 9th inning homer last night. And today in the 4th, he launches one to center field. His second of the season, his second in 2 games, and it's 2-0 Diamondbacks. His second home run of the series has given the Diamondbacks a 2-0 lead. And now Andrew McCutchen leads off the Giants' 4th against Robbie Ray. McCutchen struck out to end the 1st. Robbie Ray threw 23 pitches in the first 2 innings of this ball game, but he's coming off a 27-pitch 3rd. Breaking balls a strike, 1-1.
Apparently the book on Andrew McCutchen in the early going this season is throw him as many slow breaking balls as you can. He saw all curveballs in his first at bat in this game when he struck out.
Marrero, a nice belt tie hop at 3rd. McCutchen 0 for 2.
And another steady diet of curveballs from Robbie Ray in that at bat.
Well, even Robbie, after he got away from the curveball in his first start this year, was ready to admit that he's got to understand that if he throws the curveball, he's going to get the results that he's looking for. And we saw it a lot more in his second start last week in St. Louis. Buster Posey 0 for 1. Here's another case of Robbie missing up and away arm side with that fastball. Posey flied out deep to Triple's alley to lead off the second inning. A.J. Pollock ran way over there to make a nice running grab. Took extra bases away from Buster. Big game Bob. How come you're not big game Bob? That's
a mouthful. BB's much easier.
Burying the lead there. Well, as you said, you don't get to choose your nickname. Except if you're Dwayne Kuiper.
Told the story in the past when Brett Butler came to the Giants back in my playing days. He was in the clubhouse in spring training, and Mike Krukow asked him, what do people call you? He said BB. Crook said, "Oh no, that's not going to work. We've already got one of those."
Sorry, that's reserved.
So Brett Butler became Bugsy.
Kind of works for him.
Robbie Ray tiptoeing off the mound there. Awkward follow through that time. Taking a little extra time to regroup out there on the mound. Anytime you see something out of the ordinary, catches your breath just momentarily. Robbie kind of caught that front cleat, falls over to the third base side. Appears to be okay.
Posey got a fastball and knocked it into center. First hit in the fourth inning for the Giants, their second of the ball game.
Hey fans, a day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
Well, Buster Posey doing what he does. He's now hit safely in 9 straight. A 1-out single for Evan Longoria. Longoria grounded out in his first at bat today. He is having a rough start to the year. 4 for 36. Giants have been searching for a full-time solution at third base since they decided not to give Pablo Sandoval a big contract after the 2014 World Series win. Red Sox proved that was a smart move. Giants had 9 different players start at third base last year. Wow. Been a problem for them. Third base usually a power position for most teams. Certainly for the Diamondbacks with Jake Lamb, but Pablo Sandoval was the last Giants third baseman with at least 20 homers in a season, and that was 2011. So it's been a while. So they brought Longoria in here. Last year in Tampa Bay, 261, 20 home runs. He hit 36 with the Rays 2 years ago. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That is fair down the left field line. Dyson picks it up in the corner. They'll stop Posey at third. It's a double for Evan Longoria.
So far in this series, it looks like Longoria is just having trouble identifying the rotation on breaking pitches, but Robbie left that one up over the heart of the plate, and he's able to just barely keep it fair down into that corner. Nice play by Dyson to hustle it back in and hold Posey at third.
So the Giants, with 1 out in the 4th, have the tying runs and scoring position for Nick Hundley. Hundley 0 for 1. First pitch fastball fouled away. Giants had a weird night last night. It was kind of that weird kind of game. They had 4 hits with runners in scoring position, but they only scored on 1 of them. That was the McCutchen walk-off single.
Well, they scored on a bases loaded walk, 2 sacrifice flies, an error, and then, as you mentioned, the game winner by Andrew McCutchen, the only hit they had.
0-1 on Hundley. Yes, he went, Carlos Torres, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Very close. On that one, I agree with Carlos Torres.
Those umpires are doing a magnificent job. Nothing in the rule book about a check swing.
A little hiccup there by Robbie as he went to start his motion, stepped off the back of the rubber. Fortunately, no balk that time. He executed everything the way you have to as a pitcher. You've got to break contact with the rubber, and then you can do whatever you want. Once you step off that rubber, you become an infielder.
That wind is really picked up now, blowing out toward right center field, out toward the water. Swing and a miss. Went to that breaking ball, and Robbie gets his 4th strikeout, 2 down.
I think over the years the best way to get Nick Hundley out is just don't throw him a strike. He wants to hit. He wants to swing that bat. Most backup catchers do when they get an opportunity to play. You can get him to chase some bad pitches like Robbie did right there.
2 on and 2 out. Big out for Robbie here. It's Hunter Pence who walked in his first plate appearance today. Pence is hitless in the series. Hunter Pence doesn't get it going soon. He's going to start hearing about Mac Williamson down there at Sacramento hitting a bunch of home runs. Pence is only a few days shy of his 35th birthday in the final year of his contract here. Posey at third, Longoria at second, and 2 outs.
He does have a base open at first with a left-handed hitter in the on-deck circle in Brandon Crawford, but much prefer to get the final out here against Hunter Pence and face Brandon Crawford to lead off the 5th.
Well, now he's behind 3-0. Crawford struck out in his first at bat against Robbie. That was back in the 3rd. 70 pitches, only 44 for strikes. He's had to work awfully hard in the 3rd and now again in the 4th, and there it is.
Yep.
Let's put him on, then work to the left-hand hitting Crawford.
Well, he threw him 3 breaking balls in a row, none of them close to the strike zone. It was pretty apparent they were going to pitch around Hunter Pence right there. They just decided to go ahead and put him on.
So here we go. Bases full, 2 down for Crawford, who's 0 for 1. Nationwide Vision Center's eye on the game. Posey is the runner at third. Longoria the tying run at second. Pence the go-ahead run at first. Crawford singled and struck out 3 times last night. He's got 3 hits in the series. It's funny, we don't even think about it anymore or talk about it anymore, but the no-pitch intentional walk has worked brilliantly.
Really has.
Just moves the game along. Nobody even, I think, thinks about it anymore.
The biggest adjustment, I think, was to the on-deck hitter, who sometimes wasn't quite ready to take the at-bat after the intentional walk was issued.
0-1. That one upstairs, a little too much for Scott Berry. It's a ball and a strike. Baseball tends to be that way with the people worried about the netting this year or maybe a pitch clock, mound visits. Generally, all the uproar goes away pretty quickly. Headed for the dugout and out of play. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Well, Robbie had 2 on and 2 out to end the 3rd. He got panicked to strike out. Now 2 outs, bases full in the 4th. A strike away from getting Crawford. Just foul.
The Giants fans are so starved for offense. Every time there's solid contact, whether it's fair or foul, the fans here at AT&T Park react.
25th pitch in the inning from Robbie Ray. Robbie pretty much cruised through the first 2 innings. 6 up, 6 down, but he's really had to labor in the 3rd and now the 4th. You see the pitch count right there by inning.
Pitch of action right here, 2-2 with 2 outs, bases loaded. If it goes 3-2, the runners will be in motion. You definitely don't want that to happen. Make a good pitch right here, force Brandon Crawford to do something.
Got him! Robbie Ray gets the big strikeout again and leaves them loaded. It stays 2-0 D-backs. Went on the DL today, got hit last night, bruised ribs. And so Perdomo today counters. And then the Rockies counter as Renfroe gets plunked. Finally, Perdomo goes after Arenado, and now it's on. And the bench is empty at Coors Field. It's a melee, a brouhaha, a Donnybrook.
Now you got to believe Nolan Arenado is going to miss some time behind this one. There should be a number of suspensions for what we've seen in Colorado the last couple days.
In the scuffle, Arenado apparently hit Perdomo in the back of the head. Gerardo Parra landed a punch on A.J. Ellis, the Padres catcher. Arenado, Parra, Perdomo, Ellis, Herman Marquez, who all threw some punches apparently, were all tossed from the game today. Arenado was not hit by the pitch, but boy, that's going to be a long season between those two.
You know, many times a hitter will quote unquote charge the mound at a speed where he knows the umpire or the catcher is going to get him before he gets to the mound. That wasn't the case with Nolan Arenado.
Ahmed grounds out to Crawford to start the 5th.
He looked like a raging bull coming out of that batter's box. I'd run too.
I like the, what do you think of the glove throw? That's his only weapon of defense.
Yeah.
Here's Marrero. Well, you know what probably really happened is that somebody said a bad word.
Maybe.
Can't do that. Know. It's upsetting for people like Yadier Molina. They get their feelings hurt. Marrero flying out to lead off the 3rd. Suarez 70 pitches, 52 strikes in his big league debut today. That one's in there at the knees, 0-1. If you're just joining us, by the way, Yadier Molina dropped his appeal of his 1-game suspension, so he's sitting out today. Torey Lovullo sat out last night's game. 0-2 on Marrero. 7 strikeouts for Suarez. 2 outs in the 5th. Suarez has retired all 4 he's faced since the Goldie homer that made it 2-0 in the 4th. And here's the D-backs catcher today, John Ryan Murphy, a strikeout victim his first time.
Boy, 10 of the 16 hitters that Suarez has faced in this ball game have either been 0-2 or 1-2. Really doing a nice job at jumping ahead in the count.
John Ryan Murphy jumps on that one, and it is gone in San Francisco. John Ryan Murphy, his second this season, and it's 3-0 D-backs. That was a no-doubter for John Ryan.
How about that? Well, I just mentioned the guy's been throwing strikes, jumping ahead in the count, so to counteract that, be ready to hit one of those first strikes. John Ryan Murphy coming out of that on-deck circle and lights it up deep to left field.
Well, John Ryan, he homered in his last start behind the plate Tuesday at Chase Field. Hit one into the D-backs bullpen against the Dodgers. And this one way back in the bleachers and left. A free jumbo jacket, Jack in the Box tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink.
Let's go. John Ryan Murphy, we've been talking about the 6 through 9 hitters in the Diamondbacks order and how they've been struggling as Robbie Ray grounds one to first base. Well, that home run came from the number 8 hitter.
In San Francisco, 3-0 D-backs.
Ryan Murphy behind the dish today, catching Robbie Ray. He was excited, guys, just to catch Robbie. He said he's one of the most competitive guys he's ever met out there. And Torrey said, look, he sometimes has to sacrifice his offense, does John Ryan, just to work with these pitchers so diligently. But, guys, he's obviously got some pop in the bat. And he just says, look, I stay ready. I know, I'm not getting a ton of starts, but I have to be ready when I'm called upon. And I think I saw a little bit of competitiveness out there at the plate by John Ryan.
Yeah, John Ryan, Jody, 402 feet on that homer, 105 miles an hour off the bat, his second this year. And now it's a 3-0 lead for Robbie Ray, who could use a nice quick inning here if he can get one. The pitcher, Andrew Suarez, leads it off for the Giants.
Yeah, when you're a backup catcher, you don't want to be labeled a glove-first backup catcher. Now, John Ryan Murphy, at some point, will probably get an opportunity to be an everyday catcher at the major league level, but you want to erase that tag as quickly as you can. Be strong on both sides of the ball.
Well, John Ryan was a very well-regarded catching prospect coming out of high school in Bradenton, Florida. The Yankees took him with a second-round pick back in '09. Diamondbacks got him at the trade deadline last year for the Minnesota Twins. And Robbie Ray gets his 6th strikeout. He struck out 3 the last 4 he's faced.
You see the matchups for the Dodgers series starting on Friday. Kenta Maeda against Zach Greinke in the first game of that series. Taijuan Walker and Rich Hill will hook up on Saturday. Zach Godley and Clayton Kershaw. That'll be a beauty on Sunday. Brought to you by CenturyLink.
We're on an airplane headed for LA after this game. Day off tomorrow. Austin Jackson singled in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2. That wind keeps swirling around, now blowing across the outfield from right center toward the left field foul pole. Overcast and cool in San Francisco today. Robbie behind 2 balls and no strikes. This is upstairs. It's 3-0 with Panic on deck.
Well, one thing about AT&T Park as opposed to old Candlestick Park, AT&T generally the wind blows from right field to left field, from foul pole to foul pole, and it's pretty consistent. It may move around a little bit in an inning here or there, but most of the time it blows right to left as Jackson will take the base on balls. Candlestick Park, because it was a bowl, once the wind got inside that bowl, I told the story in the past. There was a picture in the San Francisco Chronicle one day. 3 flagpoles in center field. The American flag was in the middle, the state of California, the city of San Francisco flag, and all 3 were blowing different directions, and they were sitting just feet apart.
Enjoy those pop-ups.
Oh boy.
Panic 0 for 2. Robbie Ray was not close on any of his pitches to Austin Jackson. Now he's behind on Panic here. John Ryan out there to settle him down. D-backs will use a mound visit. With Robbie now at 85 pitches here through only 4 1/3.
We talked about that first pitch curveball for Robbie. Been a big weapon for him today. 11 of the 20 hitters he's faced. He started with a curveball. He's only thrown 4 for strikes, called strikes rather. 6 for balls, 1 foul, 1 swing and miss.
Another breaking ball missed. It's 2-0. Fastball at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike on Panic. Panic still hitless in the series. 0 for 6. He had the night off last night. Batting .289 on the year. Little low, and it's 3-1. McCutchen on deck. Robbie has walked 3 today, 1 intentionally. He's got 6 strikeouts.
Austin Jackson with base stealing speed over there at first. He has 1 stolen base on the season. The Giants don't run a lot.
That's by Goldie. Just missed hitting Jackson. He'll head for 3rd. Here's the throw from Owings. It's cut off. Giants have runners at the corners with 1 out from McCutchen, last night's walk-off hero. Panic hit that one hard by Goldschmidt at first. McCutchen today 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out. Here comes Mike Butcher to the mound. Bullpen quiet for the moment for the D-backs. Robbie has really walked the high wire in the 3rd and 4th innings. In the third, he had 2 on, 2 out. He struck out Panic to win the threat. He had bases loaded in the fourth and struck out Crawford to win the inning. And now first and third, 1 out in the fifth. He's really had to work hard the last 2+ innings. Austin Jackson at third, Joe Panic at first, and 1 out. Missed up and in with a breaking ball, 1-0. McCutchen has singled twice and walked twice in the series. 90 pitches for Robbie Ray, 53 strikes. A lot of breaking balls so far.
I don't think Andrew McCutchen has seen anything but a slow curveball so far in this game.
Bullpen will start to get busy. McCutchen fouls that one off. Fernando Salas runs down there. Salas threw 16 pitches in the ball game last night. Worked 1 2/3.
That last pitch to Andrew McCutchen, the first fastball that he's seen from Robbie Ray today, and well tardy on it. Fouled it off to the right side.
Checked the swing and fouled it straight back. It's 2-2. Buster Posey on deck. Tell you what, you look at the names in this giant lineup and they can put it together with Panic, McCutchen, Posey, Longoria all in a row.
Stick Brandon Crawford in there somewhere.
Brandon Belt. They'll score some runs. 2-2. Checked his swing. He did not go, says Carlos Torres, and it's full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tried to get him to bite on another one there. The bat head was out.
Yeah, the bat head was out, but it wasn't out in front of home plate. I mean, there's no clear guideline as to what is and is not a swing, but Barrow got out there a little farther than I thought.
Panic holds it first, and McCutchen fouls that one off. Had a manager once tell me every time he went out there to talk to an umpire on a check swing and said, "What'd you see?" he got a different answer every time.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the rule book about a check swing. Three and 2 to McCutchen. They'll keep Panic close at first.
Well, the Giants have been starting runners in full counts, even with nobody out or 1 out in the inning, so wouldn't be surprised to see Panic on the move right here. Full count pitch.
Bruce Bochy trying to get his offense going. Panic holding again. McCutchen fouls that one back. Fastball up.
I mentioned the Giants have been starting runners on full count pitches, but keep in mind the man standing in the on deck circle. You don't want to run into a strike him out, throw him out, double play, and leave Buster Posey standing in the on deck circle with runners on base.
Posey belted a single up the middle his last time up. Eighth pitch of the at bat right here. Ahmed at shortstop. They get 1. And they won't be able to turn 2 as Jackson scores the first Giant run. Nice play in the hole there by Nick.
Real nice play. Just too long of a throw from short to second, and then the relay on to first. And McCutchen still runs pretty well. Tough to double him up under any circumstance, but just too much time had elapsed there. The Giants on the board.
So you get the out. 2 down now. A run is home. McCutcheon at first for Buster Posey, who's 1 for 2. Posey's single in the 4th, his 5th hit in the series, all singles. He's now hit safely in 9 straight games. He's batting over .460 during that 9-game hitting streak. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Yeah, Posey's had 2 really good at bats against Robbie Ray already in this ballgame. That deep fly ball to center field that AJ was able to run down, and then a clean single in his 2nd at bat.
Funny, Buster coming into the game today only 3 for 17 career against Robbie Ray. Fernando Salas ready in the bullpen. They've got 3 right-hand batters coming up behind Posey: Longoria, Hundley, and Pence. Then the lefty Crawford. Robbie about to throw pitch number 100. Posey hits one deep left field. Dyson at the track. He's at the wall, and it's gone. Buster Posey, his 2nd this year, ties the game at 3.
Well, the numbers would indicate that Robbie Ray has had Buster's number, but not today. He's hit the ball hard all 3 at bats, including this towering home run to left field to tie the ball game.
Torey Lovullo to the mound to get his starting pitcher. Giants have come back to tie 3-3 in the 5th in San Francisco. Back after this. Through 77 pitches, the Giants down 3-0 have come back to tie the ball game. And here's Fernando Salas, who got 5 outs in the ball game last night. He threw 16 pitches. Evan Longoria, who doubled his last time up, is the hitter.
It almost seems like Robbie Ray is pitching exactly the opposite of what he did last year. Last year he attacked with his fastball and then would trick hitters with breaking pitches. This year it seems like he's throwing a lot of breaking pitches to set up his fastball.
Just doesn't look like he's got the fastball command that he really does rely on, at least not yet through 3 starts.
Yeah, velocity was okay today. He touched 95 a couple of times, but consistently pitching at 91, 92.
Just doesn't seem quite comfortable in his own skin out there. Salas ahead quickly 0-2. And he gets Longoria to end the 5th, but the Giants get 3, led by Buster Posey's homer. We're all tied in San Francisco. D-backs fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, stream them live on your mobile device. Use Fox Sports Go. It's presented locally by your Valley Honda dealers. Download the free app, take Fox Sports Arizona and the D-backs with you wherever you go. Left-hander Andrew Suarez in his major league debut. Out there to start the 6th inning. Jarrod Dyson 0-2 leads it off for the D-backs. Bullpen is busy for the Giants, with Suarez at 76 pitches as we start the 6th. D-backs had a 2-0 lead. Goldie a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. John Ryan Murphy added a solo shot in the 5th that made it 3-0. There's Sam Dyson. Posey takes that one himself, 1 down. But the Giants get 3 runs back, an RBI fielder's choice by Andrew McCutchen, and a 2-run home run by Buster Posey. Ketel Marte 1 for 2. He singled and scored a run. D-backs still with only 3 hits. 2 of them are home runs. Last night 4 runs on 6 hits. Monday 2 runs 5 hits. The offense has been a little hard to come by. Suarez 80 pitches, 60 for strikes. He's been ahead in the count all day, Bob, as you pointed out earlier.
Yeah, strike thrower early in the count, and then tries to expand the zone once he gets ahead. I think Bruce Bochy recognizes that having his rookie pitcher out there making his debut, at some point you have to realize that's about all I'm going to get out of him today. He probably pitching on adrenaline early in the ball game, has kind of settled in here in the middle part of the game, but I'm sure Bruce Bochy and his coaching staff are keeping a real close eye on the young left-hander.
Dyson getting hot down there. 2-2 on Marte. Ketel Marte sends one to left center field. That one gets down and rolls to the wall. Marte stops at second, his third double this year. He's now hit safely in 7 straight.
Yeah, shading him a little bit toward right center, and Cattell crosses up that shift and pulls the ball back into the gap in left center field that time. Had thoughts about 3. He was watching the throw come back in from Austin Jackson out there in left center field. When he saw it was on line to Brandon Crawford, he slams on the brakes at second.
And Bruce Bochy, just before Suarez can face Goldie, will check in with Scott Berry. Pitching change in San Francisco back after this. At Chase Field Sunday, May 13th. First 10,000 moms with us will get the D-backs tote bag courtesy of bubbly sparkling water. Get your Mother's Day tickets now at dbacks.com. Right-hander Sam Dyson, acquired last year from the Texas Rangers, is on to face Paul Goldschmidt here in the 6th inning.
I'll say the Giants are pretty pleased with what they got out of their young left-hander today. Did not walk a batter, struck out 7 Diamondbacks hitters. He's pretty impressive.
Left to a standing ovation here from the Giants fans at AT&T Park in his major league debut. Double switch for the Giants. Pablo Sandoval replaces Evan Longoria at third base. Sandoval hits 9th. Pitcher spot now 5th in the Giants order. And here's Goldie, who homered his last time up. Goldie had that big 2-out home run in the 9th inning last night. Homered in the 4th to deep center field his last time up. Dyson just did not want to throw a ball. Marte back there behind him, making him nervous.
He's operating under that theory. The longer I hold on to it, the less chance he has to hit it.
Fastball's a strike. This was Goldie in the 4th. You were talking about that Goldie sound.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
That's it right there. Halfway up the bleachers in center.
That's a good quick swinger you're used to seeing from Paul Goldschmidt. Just lightning fast to the ball.
Drills another one to deep center field, and that ball is off the wall. Marte coming around third. It's an RBI double for Goldie, and a 4-3 D-backs lead. The bat has come alive in San Francisco.
Well, they might want to issue earplugs to the pitchers around the National League West. Goldie starting to heat it up. Another barrel job to straightaway center field.
Here's that sound again.
Yep, and that wind that we talked about pushing from right to left may have helped knock that one down off the wall out there in deep right center field.
He has homered and doubled today, knocked in 3 runs, 4-3 D-backs. Here's A.J. Pollock 0 for 2. Goldie now with 5 hits in the series. Goldie has hit for the cycle in this series. Had an RBI triple Monday. Singled and homered last night. He's doubled and homered today. One and one. Two balls and 1 strike.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free crunchy beef tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Now, I don't want to jump to any conclusions because I don't have my jump to conclusions mat here with me in the booth, but you read that promo with the Diamondbacks having scored 4 runs and Goldie at second base.
Well,
so just under the wire, as it were.
Timing is everything.
Yes, it is. Broken bat, ball and bat go out to the mound. Panic behind the bag retires Pollock, and Goldie's in at third. AJ 0 for 3. Here's Chris Owings.
Got it right off the end of the bat. Puts all the stress on that upper handle area. You see AJ's got the tent peg in his hand as the barrel of that bat ended up out in the middle of the infield.
CO trying to pick up another run. Goldie at third and 2 outs. Chris has 6 hits on the road trip. Had a very good series in St. Louis.
You mentioned, partner, a little bit of a gray day here, some clouds. Occasionally the sun will burst through, and a lot of the Giants position players got those shades on the back of their hats.
Oh, your favorite.
Yeah. See that sun come through on a high pop-up. There you go.
Well, who else but the Panda? Little squib shot to second. Panic collects that one. Posey hustles over there, and they strand Goldie at third. But Paul Goldschmidt, who had a 2-run homer in the 4th, comes up with an RBI double in the 6th. And once again, he's given the D-backs the lead. It's 4-3. Murphy's solo shot accounting for the other D-backs run. Valley Toyota dealers, let's go places. We're on an airplane, and once we get through the new Bay Bridge traffic to LA after the ball game today, off day tomorrow. 3 against the Dodgers starting on Friday with Zach Greinke against Kenta Maeda. Long fly ball to deep left center field for Nick Hundley to start the home half of the 6th inning. So Greinke back at Dodger Stadium Friday. That's a 7-10 start against Maeda. Diamondback Live pregame show at 6:30. Hunter Pence has been up twice. He's walked twice. Fernando Salas back out there to start the 6th inning. Got the final out of the 5th. At Dodgers series, Greinke, Maeda, and Taijuan Walker, Rich Hill on Saturday. Zach Godley, Clayton Kershaw on Sunday. We drove in here on the new Bay Bridge. It was nighttime. Couldn't really get full view. We'll go out on the new one as well. Jorge De La Rosa, rough night last night, warming up at the Diamondback bullpen. Apparently the old Bay Bridge is now part of a trophy between the Giants and the Athletics for the Bay Bridge series. The winner is presented with an actual bridge. It's a pretty big trophy. Spans the length of the ballpark and then some. 2-2.
Well, the Diamondbacks will come back here to the Bay Area to play the Oakland A's. I believe we still stay in San Francisco and bus it back and forth to the other side of the bay.
Always good to go to the Coliseum. Wait, what?
It is? Oh, by the way, my buddy Bob Melvin sent me a picture the other day
of his foot
getting a pedicure. Yeah. A couple times every summer I get pictures of Mel's ugly feet.
Yeah, thanks for not sharing.
Yeah, I delete it as quickly as I can.
2-2. Got him. Salas has struck out 2 of the 3 he's faced. That'll bring up Brandon Crawford. Well, Fernando Salas done a nice job. Guy got a minor league contract, invite to spring training, won a big league job, and now with a lefty Crawford coming up, Torey Lovullo will go to Jorge De La Rosa. Back after this from San Francisco, 4-3 D-backs lead the Giants. Giants 4-3. Fans, don't forget you can stream live D-backs games on any of your mobile devices with Fox Sports Go, presented by T-Mobile. Download the free app, take Fox Sports Arizona and the D-backs with you wherever you go. Jorge De La Rosa got tagged with a loss last night, on to face Brandon Crawford in the 6th inning. Bases empty, 2 outs. His 6th appearance of the year. No excuses from Jorge last night. He hadn't worked in a while, more than a week. But he walked 3 in the 9th inning, 1 intentionally, before he gave up the McCutcheon walk-off hit.
Yeah, it had been 8 days since he last pitched, and he just looked a little rusty. I mean, we're used to seeing Jorge De La Rosa come in and just pound the edges of that strike zone, and he was really having trouble getting the ball in the zone last night.
Yeah, but he wore it after the game. He said, look, I just didn't throw strikes. I got to do better. Veteran that he is. 1-1 on Crawford, with Sandoval after the double switch on deck. That one inside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Crawford was up twice, struck out twice against Robbie Ray. He punched out 3 times in last night's game. Two and 2. Diamondbacks bullpen was really short-handed last night. Brad Boxberger, Yoshi Hirano, Archie Bradley had all worked a lot as of late, so Jerry Narin really didn't have much of a bullpen at all to work with in last night's game.
Yeah, that's going to happen over the course of the season. Ideally, the Diamondbacks will have stretches where there's a lot of close ball games. You need your tail end of the bullpen guys to come in there and hold a lead. And there will be time that Boxberger needs a day off. Archie needs a day or 2 off. Same thing for Hirano. Same thing for De La Rosa. It's just constantly a juggling act to try to keep that bullpen healthy, but yet bring in the guys that you think are best suited for each situation.
Roller off the side of the mound. Marte is there. And it's a 1-2-3 6th inning. We hit the 7th with the D-backs leading the Giants 4-3. AT&T Park. And a reminder, fans, you can watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB at Bat Premium. That lets you watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Visit MLB.tv for details. Sam Dyson back out there to start the 7th. Nick Ahmed leads it off for the D-backs. One change behind Dyson. Gregor Blanco takes over in center, replacing Austin Jackson. Here's Gregor Blanco back with the Giants, former D-back. Glasses on the back of his hat.
We've got a piece of Nick Hundley back there behind the plate. Home plate umpire Scott Berry's going to give him a little chance to regroup, walk the ball back out to the mound to Sam Dyson. Down on a knee back there behind the plate. Slider working away. Oh, and that hits a padded area, but you can feel it. Oh boy, can you feel it.
Rattles your bones. Nick still looking for his first base hit in the series. 0 for 8 with a walk. Shoots one out to deep right field. That backs up McCutchen just shy of the warning track into that wind. That may have knocked it down. One down in the 7th.
I think it's going to be an adventure out there in right field for Andrew McCutchen this year at AT&T Park. I mentioned it before game 1 of the series. This is one of the tougher right fields in all of baseball. You got a lot of angles, a lot of different surfaces out there behind you on that wall. You got that wind swirling around. One inning it's blowing behind you. The next inning it's in your face. You misplayed a ball the other night. And they're almost misplayed that one.
Here's Devin Marrero. Giants defense last year allowed 58 triples, the most in the majors. Their outfield defense was just awful last season. 58 triples, the most they'd given up since 1977. And so they brought in McCutchen and Austin Jackson. Gregor Blanco was back to help shore up the defense. McCutchen says he's taking his center fielder's mentality out to right field here in San Francisco, which is to go after the ball, try and catch it, and learn from the ones you don't. Hard to shortstop. Long throw for Crawford. Marrero is aboard as Buster Posey couldn't scoop it up. Boy, that's a heck of a play by Crawford, but it's an infield single for Marrero.
Chases Crawford deep in that hole between third and short. Well, the only thing that made that a close play was Crawford didn't waste any steps at all. Got the ball into his glove, got it airborne across the diamond to first. In the dirt. Buster can't make that play on a big high hop.
One out single for Devon. Here's John Ryan Murphy, who homered in the 5th off rookie Andrew Suarez. Pitcher spot is up next. Daniel Descalso is out in the on-deck circle. Bullpen is busy for the Diamondbacks. Yoshi Hirano, the right-hander. Andrew Chafin, the lefty. Torey Lovello telling us before the game today, everybody in the bullpen is available today. They should be good to go. Some of those guys got a rest last night. There goes Marrero for second, and he's in there. That throw almost sailed into center field. First stolen base of the year for Devin Marrero.
Got a big jump over there on Sam Dyson. He's actually moving before Dyson picked up that front leg. Tremendous jump. Kind of an awkward slide there once again. Really jammed that left leg into the bag.
So he's in scoring position. One out. A 2-0 count on Murphy with Descalso on deck. Murphy gets into another one. He drives it deep left center field, and that ball is off the wall. This will get Marrero home. An RBI double for John Ryan Murphy, and it's 5-3 D-backs. He just missed his second home run today. You know what that means, Bob Brenly?
Yes, I do. Tacos.
Oh,
Ryan Murphy, yeah, hiding down
that?
at 8 spot. 2 extra base hits in the game, 2 RBIs.
This is where the Diamondbacks offense has really struggled as of late, the lower portions of the batting order. But Marrero singles. Murphy is homered and doubled. And the D-backs have a 5-3 lead. Left-hander Josh Osich starts warming up at the Giant bullpen. Descalso will hit for the pitcher.
Boy, in this series, the 6 through 9 hitters for the Diamondbacks had been 1 for 30 before today. A homer, a single, and a double from the bottom of the order. Marrero with the single, Murphy with the double and the homer.
Chance to tack on another run. Giants have the shift on. 3 defenders on the right side of the infield. Andrew Chafin will sit down. Yoshi Hirano still warming up in the D-back bullpen. You've got Sandoval, Blanco, and Panic due up in the Giants 7th. This one is belted into right field. Murphy had to hold up. Tony Perez-Chica waves him home. McCutchen kicks it out there. And Descalso has an RBI double. 6-3 Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Daniel Descalso, the secret weapon. Boy, he had to really go down and get that one. Outer third of the plate below the knees, finds that hole on the right side, and McCutchen kicks it around a little bit, allowing John Ryan Murphy to come around and score from second base.
D-backs have 4 hits against Dyson. 3 of them are RBI doubles, and his day will end here. We're in the 7th in San Francisco. It's 6-3 D-backs. All from the 8th spot behind the plate today. And the Diamondbacks have a 6-3 lead in the 7th inning. And on for the 2nd game in a row, the left-hander Josh Osich, who faced 2 batters in last night's game. Gerard Dyson, Ketel Marte, both guys hit doubles. #100th career double for Daniel Descalso, an RBI pinch double. He's at second. And still only 1 out. Gerard Dyson 0 for 3. Well, they took Sam Dyson out of the game right before that long anticipated Dyson matchup.
Dyson.
Sounds like a power tool company or something. On a hop to second. Panic tackles that one. Descalso moves up, 2 down. Here is Ketel Marte. He has singled, doubled, and scored twice today. 2 for 3. Marte has hit safely in 7 straight games and 8 of his last 9. Up to 250 on the year. Yoshi Hirano continues warming up in the D-back bullpen. Sandoval, Blanco, Panic will be the Giants' scheduled hitters in the home half of the 7th. Marte from the right side fouls that one off. It's 0-1. Never in their history have the Diamondbacks won 4 consecutive series to begin a season, but they are positioned to do that here today. That one is by Crawford into left. Descalso's home, and it's 7-3. Third hit today for Ketel Marte is an RBI single.
Well, that ball almost handcuffed Hunter Pence out there in left field. Hit really hard off the bat of Ketel Marte, driving home the 7th run of the game for the good guys.
7 runs on 9 hits. The offense has come alive.
Breaking ball down and in, and he intercepted it. Hit that ball hard. That's Pence. He gets handcuffed out there on that second hop. Almost got between the wickets.
A chance for Goldie, who has homered, doubled, and knocked in 3 today.
We talk about winning 4 consecutive series. Not as easy as it sounds, but ultimately that's every team's goal. Win a series. Win a series. It'd be nice to crank off 10 or 12 or 15 in a row, and it may happen a couple times this season, but just win series.
And 3 of those 4 series coming in their division against the NL West, the Rockies, the Dodgers, and if they can hang on here, the Giants, as we head into LA over the weekend.
Yeah, 6-2 so far in this stretch of 12 straight against the National League West. The game here today, 3 more in LA, and then we go back home and play against the West. Got the Giants and the Padres coming in. Definitely want to be there for that.
18 of their first 21 in the division to start the year. And the D-backs today have a chance to also open a season 9-3 for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah, and given what we saw in Colorado today, the Padres might not be at full strength for that series at Chase Field.
Benches clearing brawl at Coors Field. Now with a 4-run lead, TJ McFarland will start to warm up as well down there with Yoshi. This one trickles in the hole. Sandoval scoops it up, and they get the force on Marte, but the D-backs have opened up a 7-3 lead.
Hirano. He is available today, as is Archie Bradley. And Torey Lovello tackling more of a big picture look at the bullpen and some questions. He was asked, when will 3 in a row be fine for some of his relievers? He said not yet. It's too early, he feels, in the season. Still early April. It will, of course, happen, pretty soon, but he wouldn't put a timeline on it. He did also mention, guys, for Yoshi, Archie Bradley, Andrew Chafin, he doesn't want to look up at the end of the season and see 85 appearances. He has to be careful with these guys.
You're right, Jody. It's only April 11th after all. So here is Yoshi, who worked an inning in Monday's series opener. First at bat today for Pablo Sandoval. 2 for 12 with a home run to start the year. Double switched into the ball game at third base. That one is under the glove of a diving Ketel Marte, and Sandoval's aboard to start the 7th. And here's the former D-back, and once again a Giant, Gregor Blanco. And Blanco's had a good start to the year, 5 for 14. Started in center field here Monday, was 0 for 3 with an RBI ground out. He drove in the Giants' only run in that ball game. It's been a close series. D-backs won Monday 2-1. Lost last night 5-4. But now they lead this one 7-3. Bunt attempt gets Marrero in from third. 1-0.
Yeah, Blanco's still one of the more popular players here in San Francisco. Always has been. He's only played in half the games. He's played in 5 ball games so far. This will be number 6. 14 at bats before this one.
Blanco, 5 very productive seasons here as a member of the Giants, a winner of 2 World Series rings. Now 34. Had that remarkable catch in the Matt Cain perfect game several years ago. One and one on Blanco. Marrero still in at third. There's a strike, and it's 1-2. That's the fastball from Hirano.
Yeah, Gregor Blanco is not what you would consider a dead pull hitter, but for me, I don't have Goldie hold on Pablo Sandoval. You got a 4-run lead in the ball game. He's not going to attempt to steal a base anyway. Might as well give yourself as much range as possible. You could play right behind Sandoval as he takes his lead and then back up into a defensive position. Yeah, you could almost bait him into trying to run to second base, which is exactly what you would want.
Yeah, if he wants to try and steal down 4 runs in the 7th inning, I'm fine with that.
Go for it.
2-2. Once again, Blanco able to check he didn't offer his Polnard. And it's a full count 3-2 with Joe Panik on deck. Wind is really gusting across the outfield from right center toward the left field foul pole. Sandoval holds, and Blanco fouls that one away. Yoshihisa Hirano got a 2-year deal in December to join the Diamondbacks after 11 seasons in Japan's Pacific League with the Oryx Buffaloes, where he's been their closer the last 5 years. Marte smothers it. They get 1, and Ahmed turns it. We talked last night, Bob, about how quick Nick Ahmed is in getting rid of that baseball.
Ketel Marte is pretty quick himself. Nice backhanded play there. Just kind of smothered that ball. Flips onto Nick Ahmed, who really had to hurry. Gregor Blanco, as we know, can get down that first baseline. I think Nick barehanded that ball from Marte and fires onto first in time to get the double play. Yeah, just came across the bag, barehanded that ball, and fired onto Goldie.
Base is empty. 2 down for Panik, who singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Well, that was pretty.
Yeah, really pretty. Well, you get the feeling the more that Nick and Cattell work together out there in the middle of the infield, we're going to see plays like that a lot this season. Two guys with tremendous range, tremendous athletic ability, strong throwing arms. They're going to be fun to watch.
We've got 2 shortstops playing in the middle infield and a Gold Glover in center. Pretty good defense up the middle. Marte still considers himself a shortstop at heart, making the move over to second base this year. He'll still play some shortstop occasionally when Nick sits against a tough right-hander.
Yeah, when you think about it, you got Marrero playing third today. He's a natural shortstop. You got Chris Owings playing right field. He's a natural shortstop.
Defense, run prevention, so important to this Diamondbacks organization. It's one of the reasons they went out and got Gerard Dyson, considered one of the best outfield defenders in the game. Two and 2 on Panik. D-backs bullpen is quiet for the moment. TJ McFarland has sat down. McCutchen would be next. No one throwing in the San Francisco pen. Always tough to put Joe Panik away.
Long at bats are kind of the norm for Joe Panik. You talked about Nick Hundley being one of those guys that seems to be a pest against the Diamondbacks. Joe Panik is a pest against everybody.
Last year, the toughest player in the game to strike out. Only about once every 10 at bats last year. And he works a walk. A chance for McCutchen. McCutchen, an RBI fielder's choice in his last at bat. He's 0 for 3. Mentioned McCutchen's walk-off homer that beat the Dodgers over the weekend here. He had 6 hits in that game. Walk-off home run in the 14th. Apparently the key was Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval covers himself in cologne before games and reapplies it between at bats. So he walked up to McCutchen and just sprayed him like the department store testers when you walk in there. And it worked out. McCutchen had 6 hits, including a walk-off home run. So it was all because of the Panda's cologne.
Eau de parfum.
Yes, if you want to smell like a panda. That's a foul ball. Marrero got to it, made a nice play. Apparently Pablo Sandoval, the Dennis Feinstein of the Giants. Parks and Rec.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right over. Okay. It's all right.
Well, now, granted, that was a foul ball, but Devin Marrero fielded that ball, fired across his own body all the way across the diamond. He ended up almost in the Giants' dugout over there.
And if the ball had been fair, McCutchen would have been out. Look at this play. Just talking about Marrero, who's a natural shortstop. Played there at ASU. I mean, that's
Pretty play for a no play.
McCutcheon goes down and gets it, but lines it to Dyson in left field. We'll hit the 8th inning at 7-3 D-backs. Fans, a reminder, get ready for a few big home games coming up. You don't want to miss them at Chase Field. D-backs will host the Dodgers April 30th through May the 3rd. And the Astros May 4th through the 6th. Saturday, May 5, a big pregame fiesta. First 20,000 fans get the State 48 Sugar Skull t-shirt. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. We'll see you on Cinco de Mayo. A.J. Pollock leads off the 8th against left-hander Josh Osich. Pollock goings Ahmed 4, 5, and 6. Archie Bradley has started warming up in the D-back bullpen. Giants will have Posey, the pitcher spot, and Hundley due up 4, 5, and 6 in the home half of the 8th. AJ 3 doubles and a homer on the road trip, but he's 0 for 3 today. And that big 2-run double in the first inning last night.
Oh, I was downstairs getting loose before my ceremonial first pitch delivery today. A.J. Pollock was down in the cage. This is, just moments before game time, and he was doing a drill in the cage I'd never seen before.
Really?
I didn't really have time to ask him about it and why he does it, but he had a ball that was about the size of a volleyball. And as he took his stance in the batter's box, he would hold that ball between his right forearm and his right bicep. As he's holding in his stance, he had that ball wedged between his forearm and his upper arm on the right side. And then as he would swing, there was a certain point in the swing where the ball came out. Obviously, as you extend the right arm on your swing, the ball dropped. And they were watching the timing of the ball dropping. So I'm going to have to get with AJ and Tim Laker and see what exactly it was they were working on, but always finding new ways to get your point across. Maybe you're extending that back arm a little bit too quickly, and by putting that ball there, you would know exactly when you've extended too far because the ball's going to drop out.
Pops it up into that win for Posey. One down in the 8th. And maybe that forces you to keep your elbow in or something.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him about it.
I thought you were going to say you were down there throwing AJ a few to get ready for your first pitch.
I would not do that. I'd be afraid I'd hit him and hurt him.
Well, with the heat that you bring, yeah. It's probably safer that way. Here's Chris Owings 0 for 3.
That's a coach's worst nightmare. Hit a player in batting practice. And I drilled Barry Bonds one time when I was coaching with the Giants. We were in Pittsburgh. It was raining cats and dogs outside, so all the pregame workouts were in the cage. And
did you do it on purpose?
No.
Oh, you didn't have to drill him or anything.
It was a really small cage, and Barry, of course, hitting from the left side, had no room to back up, and it just got away from me, and the ball was cutting in, and it just chased him right out of the batter's box. He backed up against the wall. There was nowhere to go. Hit him on the outside of the right thigh. I thought I was going to get fired.
Did he get mad?
No, he was okay with it.
Well, I mean, it's BP. How hard you throwing there? You're just kind of chucking it in. And,
probably a good 65, maybe 70.
Two and one on Chris Owings. McCutchen toward the line, headed for the seats, but he's got room. He grabs it and foul ground, 2 outs. Owings 0 for 4. That'll bring up Nick Ahmed.
We talked about that son playing hide and go seek with the fans here at the ballpark today. Really tough on the left side of the infield right now. When the sun does peek out from behind the clouds, the guys on the left side of the infield and the left field are really going to have to deal with it.
Right now, Sandoval at third and Crawford at shortstop. One has sunglasses, the other well, the other is Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah, one has gold gloves at home, and the other is Pablo Sandoval.
Well, Sandoval's been a good fit here so far. He can switch it. He can play first and third. He's content to play a reserve role coming off the bench. He's still getting paid by the Red Sox a whole lot of money. So it's all good. Yeah, just sort of gauging that sun.
Hit one up there right now.
Wind is really blowing hard across the outfield toward third. Fastball missed. It's 2-2 on Nick Ahmed. Yeah, the Giants are only picking up about $500,000 on the Panda. Most of that is on the Red Sox tab. Of course, it was the Giants in the first place that decided not to pay Pablo Sandoval after they won the World Series in 2014. That's when the Red Sox stepped in. 5 years, $95 million. Yeah.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that Kung Fu Panda took some serious shots at the Giants organization on his way out the door. It was really surprising to people around baseball that they brought him back. But as you said, the price was right.
He's making the veterans minimum here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if he's willing to accept a reduced role, as you mentioned, a switch hitter that can pinch hit from both sides, you spot start him once in a while when Longoria needs a blow. As long as he's willing to accept that role, why not? He's a very popular player here. Maybe not so much with the front office, but certainly with the fans.
Well, Boston gave him that 5-year deal and let him go less than 3 years into the contract. Of course, he had a serious shoulder problem while he was there. Labrum tear in his left shoulder, which eventually needed surgery. But now he's healthy and he's a Giant once again. So if you want to sit Brandon Belt against a lefty, Sandoval can play first. That also helps get Buster Posey some more true off days instead of just plugging Posey in there at first like he is today. Nick putting up a fight here.
Yeah, Nick needs to join the party. We've talked about that 6 through 9 spot in the Diamondbacks lineup, how they haven't been producing before today. Marrero with a hit, Murphy with a homer and a double. Even the pitcher spot, Daniel Descalso with a double down in that 9-hole. Nick 0 for 3 today, needs to get one right here.
It's really helped out. The D-backs have 7 runs on 9 hits, but their 4 and 5 hitters are a combined 0 for 8. And Ahmed, as you mentioned, 0 for 3 so far, batting 6th. But has worked at full 3 and 2. Marrero, who singled and scored his last time up, is the on-deck hitter, with Archie Bradley ready in the bullpen.
Got him on the front leg somewhere. Nick walking it off. Got the Willie Mays Hayes base running gloves in his back pocket there.
One for every base I'm going to steal.
Look at that foul ball. Cut fastball working its way in. Like it got him in the left calf. And I haven't said it yet this year, but I'll say it now. It didn't stop hurting. Nick just managed to put it in a place where he's not thinking about it right now.
11th pitch of the at-bat is popped up to short right. Canha collects it and will head to the home after the 8th inning. Archie Bradley coming in with a 7-3 lead. Don't forget, you can customize your own ticket pack this season with a D-backs mini plan. And you can choose the games. Pick the biggest games. Pick some holiday games like Cinco de Mayo, Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July. Or pick the big giveaway games like the Archie Bradley audio bobblehead or Sugar Skull t-shirt coming up. Visit dbacks.com/mini plan and design your own personalized Diamondback season ticket package. That is a tremendous program.
Oh, yeah.
Stock up on some of the freebies, the giveaways. Pick your games.
Get out there early. We mentioned the Giants and the Padres coming into Chase Field after this road trip is over. And hopefully the weather will still allow the roof and panels to be opened up. That's when you want to be out at the ballpark at Chase Field, when the roof's wide open, playing baseball out there.
April and May.
Oh, beautiful.
As nice as any park there is. Posey single in the 4th, a 2-run homer in the 5th. That knocked Robbie Ray out of the ball game. Pitcher spot is next. Kelby Tomlinson in the on-deck circle. A bouncer in the hole. Marrero in front of Ahmed. And they retire Posey to start the game.
Yeah, another problem with the birds here today, partner. We know they like to come in about this time, get ready to have that post-game meal.
Right.
The shadows. Now that the sun is out once again, the shadows of the seagulls are all over the infield. And right before that pitch to Buster Posey, one of the seagulls kind of flew right in front of home plate. The shadow was right in front of home plate. Not sure if that distracted Buster or not.
Tomlinson, 3 hits and 12 at bats this year, all singles. He was 0 for 3 last night. He got the start at second base. But it was Tomlinson who walked against De La Rosa to lead off the 9th inning last night and eventually scored the winning run on a McCutchen walk-off single. I still can't believe Goldie didn't hit a seagull with that home run last night. He hit it right into a flock of seagulls, and they ran so far away.
Yeah, nice.
They had all congregated over the left center field bleachers where the garlic fries are, and he hit it right into a bunch of birds.
I think just the sound of the ball coming off the bat scared the seagulls.
Scared us. Here's a look at the wind and some of the birds.
It really is remarkable, though, the timing of these birds. Whether it's a day game or a night game or one of those odd starts.
They just know. They know.
Yeah, when it's time to eat.
It's a little weird. Archie reaches out with that red glove. Boomer Sooner, 2 down.
Yeah, he's back with the red glove. We mentioned his last appearance at Chase Field before the road trip. He was wearing a more normal colored glove, but back to the red one here today.
And for more on this red glove fashion faux pas, let's go down to Jody.
Well, you know, I had to ask. So I saw Archie this morning. It's pretty simple, guys. Red glove with the red jersey, gray glove.
Oh, all coordinated. You've got to accessorize.
You know Archie does.
And we've seen some other guys with that red glove.
Jorge De La Rosa usually pitches with a red glove.
Yeah. Nick Hundley 0 for 3. Got to make sure that the glove matches the jersey, which matches the shoes. Make sure the beard is trimmed properly. There's a lot to think about these days.
Archie's getting to the point where he's going to need the ground crew to help him trim that beard.
Get a bandsaw or something. It's up in the wind for Pollock. And Archie works a 1-2-3 8th inning. 9th inning on the way. It's 7-3 D-backs. Ninth inning. A reminder, be at Chase Field next week. D-backs face these Giants again. If you missed the last homestand, this is the place to be. Get your D-backs and Giants tickets right now at dbacks.com. Got really good crowds for the first homestand. D-backs rolling along here. A chance to get to 9-3. And on to work the 9th inning for San Francisco, the right-hander Pierce Johnson, who made his major league debut last year with the Cubs before he was designated for assignment by Chicago. Giants picked him up on waivers, and now here is to face Devin Marrero to lead off the Arizona ninth.
Yeah, it was a little odd. Pierce Johnson got called up by the Cubs September 1st and then was designated for assignment on the 13th. He was acquired by the Giants on September 20th. Quite a turn of events for a guy that was a relatively high draft pick back in 2012.
He was the losing pitcher here against the Dodgers Sunday. Gave up a run in the 10th inning. Marrero singled, stole a base, and scored a run his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Pierce Johnson, he was great in Remington Steel. No?
Close.
Brad Boxberger has started warming up in the D-back bullpen. You got Remington Steel, but you didn't get Parks and Rec, huh? Not a Ron Swanson guy?
Yeah, I like Parks and Rec. I just
right.
don't know all the characters' names. I told you I'm all about Paw Patrol and Daniel Tiger and Shimmer and Shine. Shows that 4-year-old girls watch.
Dora the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer, all that stuff.
Thomas the Tank Engine train.
He wasn't big on Thomas the Tank.
I like Thomas the Tank. Clifford the Big Red Dog.
I think she has some Clifford books. But I mean, that Paw Patrol and Daniel Tiger, that's must-see TV for a 4-year-old.
And for grandpas of 4-year-olds. Marrero strikes out to open up the ninth. John Ryan Murphy batting 8th today. He's had a good day. A solo homer, an RBI double. He scored twice.
And I know from experience it's not easy being one of 3 catchers in a rotation. You may go 2, 3, 4 days without getting any at bats other than in the cage. Daniel Descalso, as a pinch hitter, banged one out there into right field. But yeah, for John Ryan Murphy, you just try to take as many hacks in the cage as you possibly can. Take advantage of every opportunity you get in that lineup, and John Ryan Murphy sure took advantage today.
That double in the 7th inning went off the wall in left center field, so he nearly missed a second home run today. And he homered in his last start last Tuesday at Chase Field over the Dodgers. Christian Walker in the on-deck circle. Pitcher spot 2 up next for the D-backs. Boxberger and McFarland now warming up in the bullpen. Snuck that one through the front door. That's 1-2.
It's not as visible on our center field camera, but the Seagulls are just going crazy now. The shadows between the mound and home plate.
It's like a lava lamp down there. Murphy reaches out and stays alive at that fastball. And they're circling overhead, and you've got all these shadows just to. It's hard to see with that shot.
Yeah, and the sun hiding right now behind the clouds a little bit. See, a candlestick, it was hot dog wrappers that would blow between the mound and home plate while you were hitting.
Well, one of your staff members was observing today that when you walk around in San Francisco, like to walk back and forth to the ballpark here from the hotel, one guy might be wearing flip-flops and a t-shirt and shorts, and the guy right behind him is wearing a parka. And it all works here somehow with the weather. Sunny and warm 1 minute, cold and cloudy the next.
Yeah, when friends from Ohio used to come out here to watch the Giants or come out on vacation, whatever the case may be, they would say, how should we dress? You know, it's California. I said, you better dress like you're going to an Ohio State-Michigan football game. You can always take layers off, but if you get out in this San Francisco weather and the sun doesn't break through the clouds and that wind is howling, whoo.
That, of course, was before Michigan dropped its football program.
Yeah. Focused on hockey now.
Got a couple of Michigan guys in the truck. Brian Moss and Brad Weimer. That wind is really howling out there right now.
coldest winter I ever saw was the summer I spent in San Francisco by Mark Twain. Boy, was he right. And the funny thing about the Bay Area is a lot of my teammates lived over in the East Bay when I played for the Giants, and Joe Morgan, Darrell Evans, some of the veteran guys, they used to talk about leaving their house. It was 92 degrees, and by the time they'd get to Candlestick, it'd be 52 degrees.
Yeah, there was some rain in the forecast for today, but thankfully that held off. They had a rain out here last week on Friday. We weren't even sure they had a tarp here. Some rain maybe later today around 6 or 7. We may still be on the Bay Bridge about that. Good at bat for John Ryan. He's aboard for the 3rd time today, and we'll get a look at Christian Walker. A 10-pitch at bat right there.
He struck out in his first at bat back in the 3rd inning, John Ryan Murphy, and then the homer, the double, and then the walk. All 3 outstanding at bats.
Christian Walker hits for Archie Bradley. Christian struck out as a pinch hitter last night. He walked in his first plate appearance of the year. That was Sunday in St. Louis. You said something today I thought was a very keen observation on your part.
That's odd.
There's a guy down there every day taking ground balls at first base, Christian Walker.
Every day.
He is going to make sure that he's ready no matter what. He's ahead 2-0 as Pierce Johnson is having trouble throwing strikes. Torey Lovullo is going to have to find Christian Walker a way to get some consistent at bats. They don't just want him sitting there. But pretty much defensively, he's limited to first base. Could play the outfield in an absolute emergency, but there's not a lot of defensive flexibility here.
But you just love the dedication. Come out here every day. Whether the team is taking batting practice on the field or whether all the work is up in the cage, you'll see Christian Walker at some point down there at first base. Tony Paraschica banging him ground ball after ground ball.
Well, he's got real power in that right-hand bat. Pacific Coast League MVP last year. 32 home runs at Reno. Fastball's a strike at 95 from Johnson. It's 2-2. Gerard Dyson on deck. Boxberger and McFarland ready in the D-back bullpen. Fastball just off the plate according to K-Zone, but Scott Berry says strike 3. So here's Dyson, 0 for 4. Dyson, a late addition to the lineup. David Peralta was originally leading off and playing left field, but David's hand is still a little sore. He jammed it late in spring training. And as Jody was telling us earlier, Torey Lovullo figured, well, Peralta had last night off. If he gets today off day scheduled tomorrow, that's 3 days in a row where David gets a chance to rest that hand. And so Dyson in left field today.
We'll give Ken Crenshaw and Ryan DePanfilo and the Diamondbacks training staff an opportunity to really focus on David Peralta's left hand for 3 full days, get him back on that field at Dodger Stadium.
First of 3 in LA on Friday. Zach Greinke and Kenta Maeda. Got big plans for the off day in LA? Probably jamming with over at Red Rocks or something.
Thinking about going out to the whiskey. It might be amateur night. Usually midweek you can open mic night or something. Sing the theme song to Daniel Tiger.
Well, you just sing it with a little bit of an edge to it.
Red Rocks is in Denver, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
See, that's how cool I am. Well, what's the one out there? Oh, I'm thinking of Joshua Tree, right?
The desert. Yeah.
They're all U2 albums. I know that.
Get up.
This is deep to right field. McCutcheon. The wind knocked that down. And we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. D-backs looking to take 2 of 3 in San Francisco. Robbie Ray really labored there for a while after an easy start. He finished 4 2/3 at 100 pitches. And Goldie, who singled and homered last night, has homered and doubled today, his second consecutive multi-hit game. His first 2 home runs of the year. John Ryan Murphy, a homer and an RBI double as well. So it's 7-3 D-backs, and here's Brad Boxberger to work the ninth. They'll face the lower third of the Giants order. Pence, Crawford, Sandoval, 7, 8, 9. Not a save opportunity for Brad. He's not one of those closers that, hey, I only come in if, hey, only a save situation. Not one of those guys. Pence has struck out and walked twice. There's ball 1.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks. Granted, Boxberger's going to get most of the save opportunities, depending on how the lineup rolls around and how much he's used during the course of the season. But it's kind of funny to have a 3-headed monster down there at the end of the bullpen. You've got 3 catchers. 3-headed monster behind the plate. We had that last year, but this year you've got 3 guys that can close down there in the bullpen.
Arano, who's closed for the last 5 years in Japan. Archie Bradley, who got the save here Monday. And of course Brad Boxberger, who was the closer. 3 closers, 3 catchers.
Yeah.
Some synergy there. Boxberger gets Pence to wave at that one. Hunter Pence going hitless in the series, and here's Brandon Crawford. Pence is off to a really slow start. Crawford 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. He struck out 3 times in the game last night. Jody Jackson standing by. D-backs Live, the post-game show, follows our broadcast. It's off to Los Angeles after this one. Day off tomorrow. 3 against the Dodgers starting Friday. All 3 games for you on Fox Sports Arizona. Greinke, Walker, and Godley for the D-backs. Maeda, Hill, and Kershaw for the Dodgers. Crawford strikes out on a fastball. 2 up, 2 down for Boxberger.
He's gotten both strikeouts on pitches up. The kind of half check swing by Hunter Pence, and then Brandon Crawford chasing a pitch up in the zone as well.
Here is Pablo Sandoval, last man standing for the Giants. Popped up into that wind. Marrero foul ground third base side.
Right.
And the D-backs win it 7-3. And for the first time in franchise history, the Diamondbacks have won 4 straight series to begin a season.
Just keep grinding. Hey, you know, the Diamondbacks are going to have some winning streaks this season. No doubt about that. They're just too good to avoid it. But just keep winning those series. Keep grinding away.
The Diamondbacks improved to 9-3. They open a season 9-3 for the first time in 10 years. They are 7-2 in the NL West. It all started with the Bob Brenly opening pitch. And the D-backs leave San Francisco with 2 wins in 3 games. It's off to Los Angeles. Up next, it's D-backs Live, presented by CenturyLink. 7-3, D-backs win it. Back with more from San Francisco after this.